little bit more fluid. If you've taken some of the other power classes, we hold postures but not our breath. So this morning I'm thinking just a little bit more fluid. We'll kind of in a way break down the vinyasa, a typical vinyasa sequence, and hold some of the stronger postures. Just give ourselves some time to kind of dance at that edge, playing with a little bit of endurance, but it's still yoga. So the flow part, just make sure you're really connected to your breath. And I love the word integrate. So what happens when my mind starts to take over is I disconnect, and that energy just drains, because the energy of the mind is very draining, especially lately. So we integrate, so we bring our attention to our breath, and we begin to bring our awareness to breath. Doesn't mean we stop thinking, but what happens is we begin to integrate and connect our breath to our body and sort of wake up resources that otherwise are disconnected or unplugged. So the goal here isn't to work as hard as we can, as fast as we can at all. It's to sort of dance with effort and ease. And then if you find that you're straining or your breath is starting to show up as short and shallow, practice breathing first and then bring that into our practice. So let's start on our back. So take up some space on your back. And if you've just joined, good morning. Stretch the body out. Become aware of the feeling of your body on the floor. And it's a great way to notice alignment. So from the back of the head, shoulders, heavy arms, heavy legs. And notice the relationship. Feel free to kind of rock your head side to side. How the back of the head, the shoulders, tailbone, and heels are all in this similar line, this horizontal line. So often when we stand up, we tend to shrug the shoulders forward. In modern posture, the head sort of is forward. That puts a lot of strain on our back and our hips. So notice this alignment, and many of our postures, we carry this same relationship, back of the head down to the tailbone. Bring awareness to your back. So your low back on the floor, feel free to bring your hands slightly under your low back. There's a little bit of space there. So let's call this neutral. And now take a few slow breaths and register, like your breath is thinking for you, what neutral feels like. So letting the body have a sense of ease, so the muscles and the nervous system can align in this pattern. One more breath. And then you can start to wiggle your toes and your fingers, stir your hands and feet. Feel free to stretch out the body. So I bring my feet together, reach arms overhead, and just stretch out the whole body, toes to fingers, creating space between the joints and that space in the joint. Breath. And then when you're ready, bring your feet flat to the floor and sway your knees side to side. Still noticing how your back feels. Let's just lift the right leg up. You can hold on to the back of the leg, still keeping your spine neutral, tighten the belly. You can hold on, like I said, the back of the leg. Let's point the toes, drop the toes, push through the heel, leg is strong, point, and then roll that ankle out. One way and the other way. Let's bend the knee, pull knee to chest. You can stir that knee one way and the other way. Release the leg straight. Left leg reaches up. rolling up the ankle. Just spread the toes if you like, point and then flex. Just pay attention to how your leg is feeling. If you feel tight, you can pivot the leg. And then bend the knee, pull your knee to your chest. And circle that knee one way and the other way. Pull both knees in now. Keep the space between your lumbar spine and the floor, so tailbone's rolling to the end of the mat. Hands on top of the kneecaps. Pull your knees apart and rock the body side to side. You can press the knees gently apart as you rock. Take a breath here. You can circle one way and the other way. Bring your knees together and circle. Just starting to warm up the hips here. Keeping that alignment in the spine, let's lift the knees and bend the knees. Tightening the belly. Reach your arms to the sky, anchor the shoulders. Straighten your right leg to hover your mat. Notice if your spine feels like it changed. Think about wrapping around the bottom of the ribs, tightening. Little suspenders tightening, navel down. And let's pull that knee back up. And then left leg straight. Tighten, so my rib cage, I draw in a bit. And then lift back up. You can add the arms. Right leg, left arm. Just pause for a second. And then tighten. And lift back up. Left leg, right arm. And lift back up. Hover. And lift. Hover. And lift. One more each side. Focusing on that neutral shape in the spine and pelvis. Knees to chest, rock the body a little bit. Lift the knees up, bend them, open your arms out to the sides. Drop the knees slightly to the right, take a breath. And then lift back to center. Drop the knees to the left. And lift back up. Drop the knees to the right, less or more, up to you. And then back up. To the left. And up. One more each side. Good. Knees to chest. You can rock the body out. Release your legs straight. Heels hover the end of the mat. Tighten the belly and reach your arms overhead. You can lift your head up or lay your head back down. Tightening the belly suspenders, chest up, pulsing for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Head down, knees to chest, and then stretch it out again. Hovering the heels, reach, and then hover the head, chin up off the chest, pulsing for 5, 4, 3, 2, lay down, knees to chest, and then stretch the body, hover, tighten, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Knees to chest. I like to rock it out a little bit. Circle the knees one way and the other way. Full breath in and a long breath out. Feet to the floor. Take your time. Come on over onto your hands and knees into a table position, and then make your way to a child's pose. So you're welcome to come to child's pose anytime during class. So knees are wide, toes together. Notice your forehead on a surface, the floor. You can rock the hips side to side. Pay attention to how your joints are feeling. And breath. Okay, come on up. Lift to a table. Shoulders over wrists. Hips over knees. Let's stretch out the belly. By opening the heart, gazes forward, shoulders back. Inhale, cat-cow. And then exhale to round. Draw your navel towards your spine and really round the upper back. Inhale, open. And exhale to round. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. One more full, really slow cycle. And exhale, good. Come to a flat back, so shoulders over wrists or slightly behind the wrists. Middle finger points forward or your index finger points forward. Firmly root the hands, tuck the toes. Straighten your spine, including the back of the head, and hover your knees. And as you're hovering the knees about a centimeter over the floor, try to tug your palms towards your feet. So wrapping those ribs with containment, navel towards the spine. Notice what happens in the neck, so keep the neck long. Chest is broad, upper back muscles are awake. Counting from 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and downward dog. Walk your feet back slightly. Notice how your hands feel. So as you root your hands, the thumb side of your palms, draw energy all the way up to your tailbone. Keeping that alignment, that relationship that we practice memorizing with our head and our back on the floor. Let's bend one knee at a time, tailbone up. Connect with the breath. And then slowly come forward. So feet to hands. Set your feet hip distance apart. Fingertips on the floor. Bend the knees a little bit. And then try to lift your seat bones up as you reach your heart forward. Fingertips still stay on the floor. This is halfway lift, but fingers on the floor. Focus here now on the feeling of tilting your tailbone back, tightening the belly and lifting your heart a little bit. So everything's in a combination. Might straighten the legs a bit. Maybe you kind of sway your hips side to side. Keep the heart reaching forward, lifting your seat, open heart. And now bow your head heavy. Notice the length in the back of the neck. You can shake the head, nod yes. Now another halfway lift, but hands to shins. This time flatten your spine towards the ceiling. Draw the shoulder blades back, heart is open, press into your shins. And then bow over the legs. Squat to stand. We'll stand all the way up. Lift the arms up, stretching, reaching. And lower the arms down. Reach forward, sit deeply. So pulling your hips back and down in your chair pose. Tug the heels apart. Combine, bending the knees deeply. Keeping your spine neutral. Tightening the belly of suspenders. And breathing deeply. Feel free to challenge your squat, sitting deeper. If your knees start to bother you, change your footing, or you can stand up a little bit more. Breathing slowly, focusing on your feet. If you'd like to, you can even press your palms together at your heart center. Feel free to challenge your squat here. Really focus on tugging those heels apart. Breathing slowly here. Instead of me counting, take 3 more slow breaths. Squatting as you exhale. 2 more breaths. And then 1 more breath. Good. Stand up. Dynamic. Tuck the tail under. Reach up. Inhale. Sit back and down. Reach forward. Exhale. Inhale, straighten, tuck the tail under. Exhale, sit back and down. Challenge your depth. Inhale, stand up. Just adding a bit of movement. Exhale to sit. One more. And sit. Good. Feet together now. Sitting low. Still that action of tucking the heels apart as you sit back and down. Reaching forward. Breathing deeply. Adding a little twist here. Take your right hand to your low back, left hand to your right thigh. Straighten the spine and just start to revolve, opening the heart towards the right. Feel free to challenge the depth of your squat, so bending the knees without hunching. Gently roll the shoulders back, keep the neck long. And you might start to with a long neck and an open heart. Turn your gaze more to the ceiling. One full breath here. Good. And then come to center. Take a breath. Sit low, tucking those heels apart just to wake up the hips, and then we'll twist the other way. Inhale, length. And exhale to twist. Focus on zipping up the core here. 2 more breaths. One more breath. Good. Center, try to stay low, reach forward. Option to challenge, lifting the heels. Try to push your heels up. Challenge your squat for 5, 4, 3, 2, stand up, heels down and arms down. Let's take a shoulder roll and a slow breath. Set your feet hip distance apart. Tugging the heels apart here, tailbone down, flex the legs. Let's start to stretch the belly. Reach the arms up, just stretching the belly, lifting, maybe reaching back. Neutral spine, reach forward, and then bend the knees, bowing. Find a flat back. So bend the knees enough that it feels like your back is straight to the ceiling. And then hands to the floor. We're gonna hold plank. You can always come to child's pose or a downward facing dog. You can always lower the knees. So set the shoulders over the wrists and then straighten the body from the back of the head to the heels. Zipping up the core, tightening belly to spine. Draw the tailbone like an arrow down towards the heels. Breath is strong. Rooting the hands. Notice subtle changes like shifting the weight of the body one way and the other way in the hands. Feel that chest broad, neck long for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and downward facing dog. Notice the change in the wrists, tailbone up, chest down. And bend one knee alternately at a time and take a cycle of breath. Let's breathe in and breathe out. Slide to high plank. Breathe in, drop the hips a bit, and then tailbone up to the sky, down dog, breathe out. Inhale forward. Exhale, downward dog. Inhale forward. And then exhale, downward dog. One more like that, just adding a little bit of movement to some of the holds. And downward facing dog. Good, breathe in down dog. And breathe out. Okay, come to high plank pose. Lower your knees. Shoulders over wrist, gaze is forward, chest is broad. Shoulder blade muscles are awake. As we bend the elbows, pull the body forward. It's like a pull-up action actually. And then come to lay on the belly. Arms back, palms down. Lift the chest, lift the legs, gaze is down. You can squeeze the toes together, reaching back. Keep the breath strong. So reaching through the toes, reaching through the fingers. Keep the breath flowing here. Try to squeeze the toes together. Reach through the toes and the fingers. Lifting the chest and arms. Take another breath. And then lower your feet to the floor. Palms down. Elbows over wrists. Push in a straight line on the knees. Tuck the toes. And then find downward dog. And maybe pedal it out a little bit. Take a full cycle of breath here. So root those hands. We're reversing the breath here. In downward dog. Lift your right leg as high as you can. Exhale brings you into a high plank. Keep the leg in line with the spine. Inhale, down dog. Leg lifted, 3-leg down dog. Exhale, shift forward, drop the hips and push that heel up. Lifting and then sliding. Good. Lifting and then sliding. Good. 2 more. Strong breath. Good job, you guys. Okay, this time slide forward, knee to chest. Lift the leg. Inhale. Knee to elbow. Exhale. Then lift. Go for your other elbow. Good. Lift. When you're ready, step your foot between your hands. Taking time, you can climb up if you like. Lift up to crescent. In this version now, we're going to bend the back knee. Tightening around the core, a little bit like you're tucking your tailbone under. You're going to take a shorter stance if you like. Lift the arms up and slide the elbows down to pretend a wall. Hover that back knee. Holding and breathing. Think about picking up the front bones of the pelvis up. Breathing here deeply, especially focus on allowing the breath to travel around the bottom of the ribs. Take a full cycle here. Next, inhale, straighten the body, legs and arms, and exhale. Bend and hover that back knee, tilt the tail under. Inhale, straighten. And then exhale, tuck and hover. Inhale. And exhale, good. Inhale. And exhale, one more, and then to our hold. Inhale. And exhale, hovering the back knee, tilt the tail. So my right arm, this is my right knee in front, drops. Left arm reaches over. You can take that hand to the back, lift the heart and slide towards the right as the left back knee hovers for 5, 4, 3, breathe, 2, and lift. Let's straighten and then open out to warrior 2. So take a couple of breaths here as you set up your warrior 2. So front knee bend, shoulders over hips, kind of dancing in and out your edge. So part of the practice here is we tend to skim the surface. So sinking down, but tugging both feet towards each other. And again, I'll use the wall analogy. Back of the head, my pinkies and shoulders and hips sliding up and down that pretend wall. So if you'd like to challenge your lunge, you're sinking the torso straight down compared to leaning one way. Breathing slowly here. So if you'd like to challenge your lunge, knee, front knee over ankle, you can open your stance more. so that bent knee, my right thigh is more parallel to the floor. Breathing here. So now let's bring our hands to our ribs. Sink the hips closer to the earth. Lift yourself in a way out of your rib, and then slant your torso. So you're long through both sets of ribs, with under and the top set. Along, left arm reaches that line. And then right hand can help a little bit. So I like to imagine my bottom hand is picking up something heavy, reaching the left fingers as far as you can on an angle and pressing a little bit. Feel free to lunge deeper. Just start to open your heart towards the side. Notice if those bottom ribs feel shorter. Keep lifting, lengthen, and then challenge your squat. I'm counting for 10. Breathe. 9, 8, 7. You can add the bottom arm. 5, 4. Reach. 3, 2. Warrior 2. Right fingers reach up, reach back. Challenge your lunge. Stretching the right side body. Reaching back. Another breath, and then come back to your warrior 2. So we're going to straighten the front leg now. Turn all 10 toes the same direction. And pause for a breath. Heels in, toes out. Find that alignment back of the head, just like when we're laying on the ground. We're hinging a bit at the front of the hips. Bend the knees, but pull your bum back and down, and then rearrange your feet so your toes are slightly out. Reach forward or hands to heart. And then begin to focus on that posterior alignment. So if it feels like you're hunching, open the heart, set those shoulders back and down, palms press or press down on a pretend table. You can challenge your squat here. Breathing slowly. Imagine you have a big elastic band around your shins and you're driving the knees apart as you tuck the tailbone under. You can straighten one leg more than the other. Just getting into the hips here. And breathing. For 10, 9, pulse a little bit. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, good job. 3, 2, and 1. Come on up, take a breath. Okay, so we're gonna challenge our lunge on the other side, okay? So begin to, we're going to turn to face the opposite way. Turn the front toes like warrior 2, like we did, and then eventually steer the back heel up. You can widen your stance, and now we're hovering the back knee here. Tailbone tucks. Breathing slowly. Tuck the tail under. Lifting the arms. Elbows bend. Breathing slowly. Start to straighten. And then come back. Straighten. And come back. Now straighten. Come back. You have the option now to begin to now straighten the back leg. Lift the heart. Reach the thumbs back and take this into more of a stretch, your crescent stretch here. Tailbone tucks a little bit, back leg can straighten. If you'd like to take this into a back bend, you can bend the elbows, but open the heart and lead with your thumbs. For 5, 4, 3, 2, torso up, hands down. Take yourself to a plank pose, straighten out that plank. Lower the knees to the floor, untuck the toes, straightening the body. In this position, back of the head down to your knees, align. Slowly bend the elbows a little bit, and then push up. Straight arms. Bend the elbows a little bit, and then push up. Hover, a little deeper, push up, and hover to a baby hold. So it could be a baby bending the elbows, holding but breathing. Tug the elbows to the ribs. Tighten belly suspenders. Neck is long for 5, 4, 3, 2, and child's pose. Stretch the arms forward. You can roll out the wrist a little bit. Full breath in. And a long breath out. Good. Rise up and downward facing dog. You can pedal slightly, bending one knee alternately at a time. All right, left leg lifts high. Inhale, high plank pose. Exhale, aligning the leg with spine. Inhale. And exhale. Good. Inhale. And exhale, drop the hips, push the heel up. Inhale. And exhale, good. Inhale. And exhale, let's do 2 more. Hands are rooting. Now, lift, and then exhale, knee to chest. Inhale, slide. Shift forward, knee to elbow. And slide. Shift forward, knee to other elbow, good. And slide, take your time. Step your foot between your hands. This can be a shorter stance, that's totally okay. And then you can climb up if you like. Lifting the torso, and now bending the back knee. Taking that shorter stance if you like. Tightening belly suspenders. Lift the arms and then bend the elbows like you're sliding down a wall. Hover the back knee, breathing slowly here. Try to combine picking up the front bones of the pelvis with hovering the knee, squeezing your glute. Let's straighten the body, inhale. And then exhale, hover the knee and tuck, slide down. Inhale, straighten. And then exhale to hover and tuck, good. Inhale. And exhale, good. Inhale. And exhale, 2 more like that. Strong breath. And then let's do our hold. So find your hold. Breathing here. So left hand to the low back. Right arm reaches, tuck the tail, hover the knee, and then side stretch over. Tuck for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, lift, and open warrior 2 on this side. So open up your stance a little bit, and then dance, challenging that lunge. So left knee over ankle, so opening up that stance. If you'd like to challenge yourself more, check in with breath, and that front thigh, as you bend the knee, can come a little more parallel. Tucking the heels in, neck is long. Dancing around your edge here. Notice both legs are equally strong, so that bit of a tugging in towards the center. Keep the breath strong, neck relaxed. Ready to challenge your lunge. I like to just bring my hands to my ribs just to remind compared to dropping down. Lift particularly through the bottom ribs and then angle the torso, lining the back leg. You can bend that knee more, lengthening through the bottom set of ribs. You can press a little bit and then reach the right arm, following that angle. You're also welcome just to open warrior 2 arms, especially if shoulder is saying no. Option to reach here, press a little bit. Imagine that bottom hand's lifting something heavy. Tug the heels towards each other, breathing strong. Option to add the bottom arm. Really reach through the bottom side. 10, 9, 8, big breaths. 5, 4, 3, 2, warrior 2. Good. Challenging the lunge. Begin to dance back. Lunging deeper. Your back hand can come to your back. Breath is strong, reaching. And then come back to your warrior 2. Straighten, hands to hips. Turn your toes the same direction. Wider or shorter stance up to you. Heels in, toes out, back to our squat. So in this squat, make sure your knees feel okay. Bring the hips down. You can start to lift one heel at a time as slightly pulsing. And then lift the other heel. Long through the low back. Maybe hands together. Try lifting both heels. For 10, I'll count 9, 8, 7, pulse, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, heels down. Let's straighten. So turn that front foot back straight. And then eventually returning the hips and lifting the back heel into our wobbly lunge. Okay, so you can widen your stance if you're feeling wobbly. And now lunge deeply, sweep the arms high. If you'd like to challenge your crescent pose, combine that feeling we practice of a bit of a tail tuck as you straighten the back leg, increasing the stretch. Toning the lower abdomen, lunging deeply, stretch the belly, lift your heart, and you can start to add the arms. Breathing deeply as you notice that stretch, combine the feeling of your breath with the stretch. And slowly lift upright, hands down, step into plank, straighten out the body. Take a breath. You can always go to down dog or child's pose. Now, the left hand under the face. Come into a side plank. You can come to your forearm. Feel free to place your top foot flat. Open your wings. Shoulders slightly behind the wrist, not in front. Stack the feet. Straighten the body. This is optional. So now, option to slide that heel higher. Reach for the sky. Stay with the breath, guys. Reach up, reach up. There is another option here. Bend the back knee, place it behind you, and then begin to lift the heart, stretching back. If you're in wild thing, reach up, come back to your side plank pose. And then regular plank. Even out your hands, lower the knees, straighten the spine. 5 push-ups, elbows bend. Try not to shrink the neck. Push up, elbows bend, push up, 2 more. Good job. And then child's pose, just to stretch out the arms. Big breath here. Good, slowly come forward. Bend the elbows, shoulders in line with elbows, and tuck the elbows in, holding for 10. Keep the neck long. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, and down to the belly. Sweep the arms back, palms down. Lift the arms and legs, gazes down. Option to bend the knees now and grab your feet or ankles. Take a breath. Open the heart and begin to kick back. Slowly release. Bring your palms down. Knees to the floor. Push up. Downward facing dog. Breathe in and breathe out. Shift to your high plank pose. Side plank on your other side. So hand to the middle of the mat. You can open those wings. Stay here. Come to your forearm or stack your feet. Straightening the body, head to heels. Option to slide the heel up. Stay here, breathing. Option to bend the back knee, place the foot behind you, and then open. Check in with that sporting shoulder. Move into side plank. Regular plank. Even out the hands and downward facing dog. Good. Breathe in. And breathe out. Good. Take a breath in. Feet to your hands. Breathe out. Separate your feet a little wider than your hips now. We're moving into a really deep squat. If this is a no, bend the knees less. Or come to straight legs. So feet are a little wider than the hips. Come into your kind of goddess type squat and reach forward. Pull the hip creases back. You have the option now to hook your fingers under your toes. Keep the low back really long and direct your tailbone up, straightening the legs a bit. We're not hunching the back. And then squat low, lifting the heart. Pull your hips up, straighten a little bit, lead with your seat bones lifting, and then squat low. Good. Straighten, pull your hips back and up, and then squat low. 5 more. Four more. 3 more. And 2 more. Good job, you guys. 1 more. Good, we're coming back to our squat. Squat low. And if you would like to, squat low enough that you have your hands to heart, pressing thighs apart, tailbone down, chest up. Rocking the hips side to side. Keep the breath strong here. Good. And then when you're ready, hands to the ground, tailbone up. Good. Toes the same direction. Maybe rock a little bit. Tuck the heels apart. You can bend the knees, kind of a halfway lift, and then hinge to stand. Good. Let's sweep the arms high and lower the arms down. Warrior 3, toppling tree. Stand on your left foot. Take a moment. Reach the right leg back. And then tilt your alignment, spine all the way to heel. Reach the arms back and begin to just play teeter-totter. So toppling tree, squaring the hips down. Push through that lifting heel. Option now to reach the arms ahead. Reach toes to fingers, square the hips down, and try to keep that posterior alignment. I'm counting from 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, slide on up. And now kick your heel to your bum. Pick up the foot, tuck the tail, left fingers up. Kick back to stretch the arm back. Inhale. Kick back, exhale. Feel free to play a bit of teeter-totter again here as you kick back. Just play with it. And then slide up or follow like I did. Foot down, arms down. Let's pedal that out. Breathe in. And feel free to sigh it out. Okay, toppling tree on the other side. Stand on your right foot. Posterior alignment here. Reach the leg back. Tighten the belly. Lengthen the low back. And just play hinge over that front hip. Straighten the body. I like to push through the heel. It tends to activate my lifted leg and glute. Zipping up the core. Neck is long. Reaching forward. This is optional for 10, 9, 8. Square the hips down. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Hinging up. Straighten the body, but bend the left knee. Scoop the foot up. Tail tucks, reach, kick back, stay here. Or kick back, so you're stretching the arm, playing a little bit of teeter-totter. Again. Really kick into that hand. Contained with reaching plus drawing towards the center core. Teeter, teeter. Just play with it. And then slowly come on up or tumble out like I did. Checking in with your breath. Good job, everyone. So moving through really slow salutation. Set your feet intentionally. Sweep the arms high. Bend the knees and bow. Heavy head. Flat back. Straightening the spine, open heart. Plant your hands plank. You can lower the knees, straighten the body, bend the elbows, point the toes, tops of the feet, root, open the heart, and downward facing dog. Full breath in, and a long breath out. High plank pose, you can lower the knees, bend the elbows, roll to the tops of the feet. Big breath here, and downward facing dog. Stay in down dog or move through 5 more flows. High plank, you can lower the knees. Elbows graze the ribs, bend them. Open the heart. And downward dog. 4 more. High plank pose. Half plank pose. Open heart, neck grows long. And downward dog. 3 more. High plank pose, big breath in. Elbows bend. Open heart. And downward dog. 2 more. Inhale forward. Exhale lower. Inhale up. And downward dog. 1 more. Plank. Lower. Open and downward dog. Good job. Breathe in. Lower the knees. Breathe out. Moving into camel pose now. Toes tuck. Lift up. Long through the low back. Hands frame the tailbone. Open the heart and take a breath. Combine opening the front with supporting the back. You're welcome to reach for the heels now. and breathe. Take 2 more breaths. And gradually come on up. Nicely done, everyone. Take yourself now to a seated position. So moving into a seated position with your feet flat on the floor. If you have sensitive shoulders, practice a bridge pose if you know what that is. I'll show you actually. Flat on your back instead of what we're doing. So this is bridge. Or like a reverse table, except the hands are sort of on the sides instead of pointing forward one way or the other. So set your feet and now begin to just lift your hips a little. Notice how that feels. We're setting the shoulders. And if it's feeling okay, shoulders are over wrists. Make sure your fingers are in the right direction. And now start to tuck the tail, but press your belly up. Feel free to lower the hips and then press back up. Tuck. You can change your hand position. Drop and then press. Tuck. Drop and then press. Tuck. Then drop and then press. So depending on how you feel, right hand roots, lift your left arm up, and then you're going to turn your fingers back a little bit like you're pivoting. Left hand up, right foot up. This is really wobbly. We're going to take the right foot under and then flip over. Okay? So make sure that hand on the ground is in a good spot. I'm going to do that again. So left hand lifts, right foot lifts, and then we're going to come back. That might have been weird. Other side. Right hand lifts, left foot lifts. Bring the foot under and just flip over. And then from there, left foot lifts, right arm lifts, and then flip back. Okay, let's sit down on our bottom and lay on our back. All right, bridge pose. Sway the knees, couple of breaths. So for this version, if you've been in bridge the whole time, do something else. Sway the knees. This could be where you stay. Or I'm going to keep the feet wide at first. Anchor the arms, palms down. Just getting into the shoulders a bit too. Press the hips up, root the heels, and tuck the tail up. Flatten out the belly a bit by dropping the ribs. Lifting. And now lift towards your left glute. Push through the left heel a lot. Lift to the right glute. To the left glute. Back and forth. Right and left. Right squeeze. Left squeeze. Right squeeze. Left squeeze. Side to side. Really push through the heel. Side to side. I'll count from 5, 4, 3, 2, and center for 10, 9, lift, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and lower down. Let the knees fall into touch. You can sway the knees a little bit and take a big, big breath. Bring the feet together now, close together, like the number 11. Lift your hips, tuck the shoulders under you. So feet are like the number 11, root the left foot, heel especially. And begin to now lift the right toes as high as you can. Push through the left heel, reach for the sky for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, foot down, nicely done. Root the right heel, make sure the knee is over the heel, lift up. And now if your hips are low, push your tailbone first up, toes up, tuck the shoulders for 10, 9, 8, 7, squeeze the glute, 5, 4, 3, 2, and nicely done. Hips down, untuck, and take a big breath. Maybe swing those knees side to side. Okay, soles of the feet together, knees are open. Feel free to rock the hips, take a breath, or keep the knees wide, and now lift the hips. Tuck the shoulders, lifting the tailbone, knees are wide, squeezing your glutes, really press the hips up. Keep the breath strong here. We're almost done. And lower down. Hands to the belly. Great, big breath here now. Sigh it out. Inhale. And exhale. Lift the knees, feet to the floor, and then stretch the legs out into your Shavasana. If there's any movements you're craving and after class, like a hip stretch, feel free. Closing the eyes to begin to connect with breath and the points your body is touching the ground. Softening one by one each point that connects to the ground and breath. Practicing now a sense of ease to balance out the energy of the effort. And it's in that space where strength is truly developed. Feel free to close your eyes. And begin to pay attention to subtle energy. That energy that flows in between the spaces. The power of that energy shapes our life. So the energy of thought, and then our reactions to those thoughts and where our body goes, shapes our body and shapes our life. The energy of breath, presence, and that going deeper. It begins to take challenges and develop just like trees' roots. And our practice is here and now. Can you connect with that space of energy and then begin to steer your energy by what you choose to focus on?